Hello.
Hello.
Hi guys. It's us again. Yes, we're back. We have actually just recovered from the COVID-19, and that's gonna be our topic for today. Yes.
Yeah. Hello, people. Yes. Yeah. It has been. Yeah.
A tough 14,
We've
14
just
days.
recovered. It's more.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
We've
more.
just recovered from the COVID-19. So that's our topic, guys, for today, and we want to take you through our experience
Yes.
with the COVID-19. Uh, the reason why we went and got tested for COVID-19 is because we had symptoms
Yes. And I
for
think
COVID-19.
I think I was the first one to actually develop
Yeah.
the symptoms.
And Bay, we thought it was flu because he had like flu on and off. So we were not sure whether it was COVID-19
Yeah.
or not until there was a COVID case at your school.
Until someone tested positive at my workplace. So that's when we were like, you know what, let's
Yeah.
get up and go get
And
tested.
get tested.
And well, I was told to, go and get
And
tested.
get tested. Because also on the week before, or the same week, where there was a COVID case at your workplace, I had a terrible headache for the entire week. Like my headache was insane, and I was also having some chest pains. So we thought it was going to be like an easy peasy thing just to go to a place and get tested, and come back, but it was not, because we went to Discam to find out about their testing procedure, or how they actually go about testing the entire thing, and only for them to tell us that the labs were
Closed because,
there was like, were they packed, but what's it? They said
like there were too many people who had tested.
who tested, so there's a
So,
backlog. So
yes.
they're trying to push. So we needed to come the following week on a Wednesday, and we went there on a Friday. So we thought to ourselves that, you know what, we just need to check other options or other means of finding
So
a
we
way how
decided we decided to
test.
go the route of the doctors.
Yeah,
So we went to one of the local doctors where we actually got the referral letters.
to go to Lancet
Yeah, to go to the laboratory in Joburg.
and get tested.
Yes.
So guys, we went to the doctor. From the doctor, the following day on Tuesday, we went to the lab,
Yeah.
and
On
yeah.
Wednesday, just the day after
Yeah.
testing, Habi received his results.
I received mine within 24 hours,
Yes.
like the same day. I think later though. Was it Tuesday
not the
or
same
Wednesday?
day, the next day.
I received them on Wednesday, ne?
Yes.
Yeah, I received my results on Wednesday, and my results were positive. And the shocking thing is that we had we had that thing in mind, that we might be positive, but
when you got the results,
when you get the results, you're like,
you didn't know what to do.
okay. Like I knew what to expect, but I was like, that was just a moment of saying, you know what, we're stamping this. You're
How
actually
do I
positive,
accept?
you know,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And now reality kicks in that, you know what,
You are positive.
it's a COVID. It's COVID. So
and by then
Yeah.
I was still expecting my results.
Mm-hmm.
And when you got yours, I knew for sure that I'm also positive.
there's no way. I
And
can be
also
positive
because
and not.
I was in contact with the person who tested positive at work, so I knew like the chances of me being positive were like 99%. So yeah, my results, I got them on a Thursday,
On
and
Thursday, yeah.
they were also positive.
And that's how we actually began our quarantining, our isolation journey
Yeah.
there. And that's when also symptoms.
It's like they were waiting for us to get the results
First.
because the moment we got the results, the symptoms started being worse.
Yeah, we
especially
started
yours.
experiencing more symptoms. Like yo, we started experiencing. See, yeah, I experienced like hectic symptoms, and
And that time we had to actually isolate together in our one bedroom house because we actually still renting. somewhere in Joburg.
And
yes.
we didn't know if we actually have to go and quarantine in the isolation center
And I didn't want
or
that.
in the room. So also he didn't want that because the reason I know would say he didn't want that because I know he's not that emotionally strong.
Yeah.
On my side, my fear is that if he went and quarantined somewhere, if I went and quarantined somewhere, I think he wouldn't have made it because mentally he could have been messed up. I know, yeah, definitely. He could have been messed up. So we decided to quarantine together, but before we decided that on our own, we had to call the is it NICT or
Yeah.
something? We had to call and find out if we can quarantine together, what we're supposed to do in the process. You're quarantining, must
Yeah.
to see to as a couple, and what we had to do and not do. But also, they were not specific. Guma couples would say, how do you go about isolating together and having to
Especially if you are
work
in
around
a
it.
one.
Yes, especially if you
bedroom
are, you know,
house, yes.
how do you actually work around it? So it was rather challenging because he's very touchy. He's very, very touchy. He's like, yeah, I usually call him my 25-year-old toddler because he wants to sleep here and, you know, and with that time, I mean, I was paranoid because I felt I didn't know how, if his symptoms will come to me or if my symptoms will come to him, if we're going to reinfect ourselves and prolong or not
The healing
recover
process, yes.
within that 14 days. So I didn't want him to touch me. I didn't want that.
That was the
And
most difficult time.
yeah, I didn't
of
want
my
him to
life.
touch me. I didn't want him to sleep next to me. There was supposed to be at least some space in between us, and there was no like at all because I was like, there's nothing. You know, we actually have to be serious. We can just compromise for this 14 days and see what's happening with, you know, the symptoms. And my symptoms, I actually started with the headache to chest, but my chest pains were a nightmare because there was a time where I'll have a racing heartbeat, like I'll feel that, you know what, this is now getting abnormal, and my breathing was insane, was like sometimes.
And that time I would be sleeping, eh?
Yeah, he'll be sleeping, and I'll be tossing and turning because I also didn't want to scare. I also didn't want to scare him because I'll be tossing and turning, trying to find the perfect position to sleep and try and breathe. And most of the time, I would pump this almost twice a day to try maybe and do something with my lungs so I can probably breathe properly on my own. And I didn't also want to go to the hospital because I remember when you find it, you went to find out on how, if I have like breathing problems or something, they said I should actually call an ambulance and go to the hospital. But I felt that, you know what, it's not that hectic because I don't want to go to the hospital. Like, you know, I didn't just find my own means or ways of trying to breathe properly on my own and do some things. And
and you would be like experiencing all these things like in the middle of the night or when I'm sleeping.
Yes, like during the day. That's why usually they say it's a 360 thing, because during the day I'll be okay. You know, we can chit chat, you know, take pictures and stuff. It's okay. But in the middle of the night, I'll have sleepless nights. I would not sleep at all. I'll have panic attacks, and I would. It was hectic, because I feel that, you know what if I try and sleep? I think some of the things that I had in my head is like, what if I try and sleep and not wake up? It's in the middle of the night and I'm struggling to breathe. Like, I'm honestly trying to. I'm trying to sleep on my stomach. I can't breathe properly. I'm sitting, and that was the most hectic part with the whole thing, and nausea.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a time where I would try and eat, and I'll feel that the food is just here, and I'll feel nauseous most of the time. And there's a time where we also lost our smell. the both of us. And
For quite a while, eh?
yeah, it was hectic because he would cook, like sometimes you'll see that, now the food is actually being burnt because we can't even smell a thing that,
I remember I once burned the pub.
Yeah, because he couldn't smell anything. You also wouldn't fault him because we can't smell anything. And also the appetite will force to eat.
Yeah.
But we didn't have appetite at all. So we'll try and force ourselves to eat. And by that time, boy, the side was also coughing.
Oh, I had a hectic dry cough,
Yeah.
but then it wasn't painful. There was just dry cough in jail.
Yeah.
So, or maybe on my side is because I'm a smoker. I don't know. Because I think I'm the only one who experienced the dry
coughing,
cough symptom. Yeah.
But then also it was not to an extent, maybe because some people they say that they cough maybe stains of blood or something.
Blood, yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't get to that point.
Yeah.
And my fear was that what if it's worse on his side because he's a smoker, and what if it's affecting him more than it's affecting me?
Yeah.
Kanzi, no, it's actually affecting me more than him.
Yeah.
So that was the hectic part about it. And also one thing that was also draining, the loss of energy. Like I didn't have energy. I attempted to exercise, but then I couldn't have exercise for a minute because I'll do one to the second push up, I'm out like completely. I couldn't do anything. I'll feel
Plus
like
you love workouts.
yeah, I love working out, but then my energy level was down to China. I couldn't, so it was a hectic 10-14 days because Bay quarantined for like 10 days.
And after 10 days they expected me back at work.
Yeah. And also, on my side, I didn't want to quarantine just 10 days. I wanted to do my 14 days and still be able to monitor, my symptoms, if they're completely out of my system or what, And the fear with COVID, it's having to disclose to the people that you stay with. And
especially if you're renting.
Yeah, the people that you stay with, where you're working, and the people that we're in contact with. And on our side, we were not having the social gatherings, so it was not a matter of us having to notify our friends, but we actually had to notify from work and our landlady about our results. But now also with that, you're not sure how the next person is going to take it, because with the whole stigma around COVID and stuff, people are scared, and it's understandable, but fortunate enough, and our landlady was very understanding, and when we told her the results and what the doctor said and what we needed to do and stuff, she understood our situation, and we're grateful for that. If it was someone else, could have said, what, guys, go and isolate somewhere else, go to the isolation center. So we managed to quarantine here for our period of 10 to 14 days, because Bay did for 10 and did my 14. And on my 14th day, I went back to the doctor, and the doctor said, you know what, you don't need to go and retest again as long as you don't have the symptoms anymore. And Bay doesn't.
But then I after 10 days, I still had symptoms, because I remember I had a very hectic headache. But then I was told that after isolation, you are still going to have a few symptoms, but that does not mean you are infectious. So, well, it seems after your period of isolation, you are no longer infectious. Hence, they say you no longer have to go and test again.
Yeah, yes. Because my doctor told me that, I don't need to retest. And also another thing, it's the testing kits in the country, they are not that much, so they prefer people to test first, and for the retest, I think it will be something at a later stage. So we're like, oh, okay, no, it's okay, as long we're not experiencing any symptoms anymore, that means we're good to go. So,
and the other thing that actually pissed me off,
what?
or I don't know, maybe it's how we are, but then no one ever actually checked up on me, especially from my family side. It was so painful, especially seeing that Bay gets calls like Almost, well, every day he was called every day, like they were checking up on him every day, but I never had a single person checking up on me from my family side. So I'm a very observant person. I'm very sensitive, so when things like this happen, I overthink, you know. So it was very hectic, because once you get tested positive, I think you need positive vibes and positive
support.
people and support.
But yeah, hence I said in the beginning that it was a good thing that we isolated together.
Yeah.
We needed to be with each other because
for support.
we actually had to drive each other crazy. But also it was, we were positive. Like we were very, very positive throughout the whole thing. As hectic as it was, we were very, very positive. We were emotionally there. And we were trying not to also think about it. Sometimes we make fun of it, you know, so that we don't dwell much on the negative part.
Yes.
And I know my bae loves Gogo, so I also had to tell him that, you know, stay away from anything that's going to start affecting your mindset and thinking about
especially Twitter.
that people are dying, people are not making it and stuff. So we actually had to start staying away from that. Hence also on the social media we started being a bit, you know, not that hectic. So yeah, and also guys, the testing thing, it's really also not a cheap route, hey? Like it's also not a cheap route if it just comes unexpected. So yeah guys, we just wanted to share our journey with the COVID, and now we're good and we're safe. We can just go back to doing what we used to do. What we used to do before. And yeah guys, so that's our story to you. And
guys, that's the end of today's topic. Please go get tested if you feel you have symptoms, but then I would suggest that you actually drink the concoctions and take the vitamin C's. Like, treat yourself as if you already positive, because even if you test positive, you continue drinking those things, you are going to be okay. So just rather treat yourself as if you have the COVID-19 and
because there's no cure,
practice all the precautionary measures.
Because also one thing they told us was that treat the symptoms as they come. If you feel that you have a headache, drink something for the headache.
Preferably Panadol.
And if you feel that maybe you've got dry cough and stuff like that, drink something for the dry cough. So treat every symptom as it comes. So it makes it a bit easier, you know, with the recovery journey. So, and
also steam, guys. You must steam. Even if you haven't tested before, please steam.
That helped us as well.
Steaming. It's very, very important. At least twice a day if you are lazy. Yes. And that's it from us, guys. And if you'd like to follow us on our social media platforms, you can catch us go Instagram. We are on Instagram. It's Tsulo_Ndlovu, and then on Twitter it's R_Tsulo_Ndlovu, and then on Facebook it's Motlacho Tsulo_Ndlovu, and then it's Thabo Mongezi Tsulo_Ndlovu. It's got a very long name, and I don't like people with long names, especially on Facebook. So if someone was to send me a friend request, maybe with a long name on Facebook, I wouldn't accept.
The sad party doesn't like people with long names, but he's stuck here married to me, so
I think that's because when I met you, you were only Thabo Mongezi.
So he added the long, so who is he blaming?
No, I think you should get rid of one.
So,
I'll do it for you. I've got the login details, so I'll do it for you.
You mad? So guys, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to like, to comment, to press that bell button for notification. Guys, until next time, from us to you, we love you. And guys, can you believe that this will be our first case in like almost 20 days? Like, honestly, our first case in almost like 20 days. So yeah guys,
and they shouldn't see it.
Bye. Bye bye guys.